how did we embrace that to make friends, etc.?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to be honest, I didn't embrace it at all growing up. I wanted to try be as assimilated as quote unquote white as I could.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why my accent probably picked up quicker than maybe my older brothers, not Mark, the plumber. His accent's thick. But for me, yeah, maybe it was that. And it was also probably going back to the fact that I knew I would stand out, good or bad, being a different race, a minority. So I did whatever I could to try and fit in.
So you're a mixed bag. Was it a South African accent or a Chinese accent we're talking about?
Well, blame mum and dad. They never took me to... they took me to Chinese school for like a semester when I was like 7.
Yeah.
Did not pay off whatsoever. So it was a thick South African accent. So in South Africa, you have a lot of... it's like its own group of people, the coloureds.
Yeah.
So it's usually the mixed race people, and they're quite funny. They're actually really cool. And a lot of kids growing up like to imitate the coloured accent.
Yeah.
So it's not quite your typical South African accent.
Yeah.
But it's kind of gross, to be honest. But tried to shed that as quickly as I could.
Unlike you, I was in the top class of my Korean school, and they had it in terms of, I guess, tiers, and I was in the highest one. But I have a sneaky feeling that was only due to my age.
Why was the class or the class younger than you?
No, I was. Let's be honest. For all my friends, you guys know I was shit at Korean. Still am, laced with a thick
I've seen you
Australian
order
accent.
at the restaurant. You're solid doing that.
Look, that's all I've got. But yeah, so I think I'm the same as you. When I was younger, I didn't really embrace learning Korean. It was just a chore that I had to do on weekends at Korean school. But I think you might agree with this, but in hindsight, it's something that I really wished I'd tried a lot more.
100%.
And embrace the Asian, because I guess the more you know, knowledge is power, right? The more you know, the more we can, I guess, share with other people, the better it is.
So back to when we were talking about, did I try to embrace being Asian? Did I use it to my advantage? Not really, to be honest. It's probably only after a couple of years out of school when I started hanging out with my current wife. Most of her friends are Asian, and suddenly it became cooler to be Asian. Suddenly I wasn't the smallest guy.
Your biceps were never small, mate.
Oh, yes, they were. 60 kilos in school. That was like 65. But yeah, suddenly I wasn't the smallest. Suddenly I had interests that were slightly different. Most of my friends growing up, we played sport. We love sport. So that's kind of what you are. But hanging out with other Asians who don't necessarily follow sport as closely, there's other things they're interested in. Suddenly I was a bit different. And that probably made me feel a bit cooler.